We are out at the WSU Mount Vernon's Research Center where their Cider Apple Research Program takes place. I chatted with Bree Eving and Ed Cheenstra about how the program strives to improve the cider industry. First, we start off in the orchard where it all begins. So Ed, you're kind of in charge of the apples here, right?
I'm a technician here at the station, and what we're hoping to do out here is test some new mechanical harvesting technology that's coming.
What is a traditional cider apple?
They have a more tannin content, polyphenols. That gives a little bit of the bitterness that people are looking for in their finished cider.
The bite. I want to get a better understanding of the cider making process, so I get hands-on with the new batch. First, we have to wash our beautiful Washington-grown apples so they're ready for the apple mill. Once our apples are ground, we use the water bladder press to get freshly squeezed apple juice.
So it just presses against the wall and gets other apple pieces and the juice flows out.
And do you make and bottle and sell cider from here, or?
No, we don't. We mostly have it for research.
Yeah.
So there's been a research program here since the 1970s.
Wow.
So it's one of the oldest cider research programs in the country.
Yeah, and what a great way to use Washington-grown apples.
Exactly.
Finally, we strain our juice through a sieve. Now our cider is ready to take to the lab for fermentation and for Bree's lab analysis.
People are really into cider right now.
Oh yeah, it just followed the craft brew industry a lot. And I think now that people are realizing that there's so many different kinds, it's not just one sugary type of drink, that there's so much complexity in cider and so many different world styles, it's becoming very popular. People want more knowledge and more information, so there's a lot more research going on here.
So what kind of research would you do?
Looking into mechanical harvesting and how that would impact the cider. There's research on cider cultivars and how that would impact different flavor profiles.
Before we begin, we need to wake up the yeast that will help our cider ferment quicker. We add some warm water and put it to the side for about 20 minutes. Then we start to analyze our batch of juice.
So first we're going to check out our sugar levels, and this is a refractometer. So this uses light waves to measure your concentration of sugars.
Next, we test the juice's pH levels.
So that's, like I said, important because that determines how much of these sulfites that we're adding to the juice.
We measure out our sulfites and add it to our batch. These prevent bacteria growth and remove the natural yeast to make way so our cultured yeast can ferment. We then add nutrients that will also help our yeast stay healthy.
Gotta keep the yeast happy.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of making cider is making your yeast happy. So.
We add in the nutrients, and then finally, it's time for our yeast to get to work.
Some people like to shake it up. I like to give them a little bit of time to readjust to their new home and say nice things to them because they're going to work very hard. And then we're just going to seal it off with an airlock.
Good luck, little buddies.
We'll do great. So 2 weeks later, we would come back and we'd have cider.
Yay.